Hey guys, what's going on? So I just wanted to give my 2 cents into the ongoing debate between Islam Makhachev and Jon Jones for the #1 pound-for-pound fighter. So I'm just going to break down both of their careers and then give my ultimate decision and some other thoughts on the current pound-for-pound rankings. So starting with Islam Makhachev, currently 32 years old, is the reigning lightweight champion or 155-pound champion. His overall record is 26-1 with 5 knockouts, 12 submissions. And in addition to those 3 title defenses he has at lightweight and his current 14-win streak, he does have a couple of wins in catchweight bouts as well, one at 165, one at 160, and both of those he won via some sort of stoppage. And I'd say Islam is the much more current fighter. Just looking at the past 4 years or since January of 2020, he has an 8-0 record with 7 stoppages, just that one decision to Alexander Volkanovski. And in terms of notable wins, I'd say you have Arman when he was a lot younger, in addition to Dan Hooker, and then of course getting the lightweight belt against Charles Oliveira, then beat Alex Volkanovski twice, and then now coming off that Dustin Poirier win. I think a lot of the debate is that maybe Jon Jones should be the #1 given his last performance against Dustin Poirier. Just based on that alone, I wouldn't say Islam really had that bad of a performance. I still thought it was a fairly dominant win. And in terms of styles, he obviously has that similar style to Khabib, that combat sambo. I also would say that Islam Makhachev has really good striking in comparison to Khabib. I wouldn't say he's as dominant on the ground, but then again, I'd say he makes up for it by having just a little bit better striking than Khabib. And then looking at what Jon Jones has done in his career, currently 36 years old, what's really notable is his long reign at light heavyweight in the past, and then returning, making his heavyweight debut and beating Cyril Gane, coming in at 248 pounds. And pretty similar overall records between the two. Jon Jones is 27-1, as well as that one no contest to Daniel Cormier. And then that one loss is that disqualification, whereas Islam Makhachev's one loss was a knockout in his younger career. So Jon Jones really hasn't lost in theory. He just, of course, has that disqualification and that no contest on his record. But those 27 wins is divided between 10 knockouts and 7 submissions. And Jon, in addition to making that jump to heavyweight, has also had a catchweight bout of his own. When he started in MMA, it was at 210 pounds, and he won that via TKO. And in terms of title defenses, he'd have 11 total at light heavyweight, but that's a little bit divided because he had 8 title defenses, and then after that no contest, he then again won the interim champion and became the 2-time light heavyweight champion after beating Gustafsson for the 2nd time. And then after that, he had 3 more title defenses. So I'd just say 11 total to make it simple. But really, I think what hurts Jon Jones in this argument is looking in just the past 4 years. Jon has only had 2 fights. One was that recent submission to Cyril Gane, and then his decision win against Dominic Reyes. So I really think there just hasn't been enough activity there, but you do look at his notable wins, pretty remarkable. You have Machida, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Alexander Gustafsson again twice, Glover Teixeira, Daniel Cormier twice, really just once if you count that no contest. And then more recently you have Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, and then of course Reyes and Gane. So I think those 2 weight classes really do a lot for the pound for pound rankings. And I'd say Jon has a pretty balanced style too. Really good on his feet and really good on the ground. And now just my thoughts after breaking down both of their careers. I really think it depends on what your definition of pound for pound rankings is. If we're talking about someone who is arguably one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, and in addition to that, him being currently active, if that's what you're basing it off of, Jon Jones is your number one pound for pound fighter. But if you're looking at more recent activity and what they've done in the UFC, again, that little 4 years record that I came up with, I think Islam Makhachev is the much more active and is the better current fighter. But if we're talking about, again, all time, Jon Jones hands down wins that conversation. Islam still has a lot more to do in his career, but at this point Jon would obviously take it. I just think that recent activity really hurts him. In my opinion, I think you should go with the much more active fighter and current reigning fighter. Those 3 title defenses, 8-0 in the past 4 years, that would be my personal pick. And me personally, I even like having Alex Pereira in the conversation, looking what he's done in the UFC. But feel free to let me know your thoughts on who the number one pound for pound fighter should be. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you later.